Hey guys, what is going on? It is Retro Ruts. I hope you guys had an awesome summer. Hope you had a lot of fun. Hope you got to the beach, maybe some fishing. I know you had a few drinks with your buds. Maybe just hung out with the family, whatever it was. I hope it was fun, safe, and you had a great time. But I'm hoping you got out there and got some fig hunting done. I know I did. I know I shared a couple videos earlier what I picked up so far, so this is kind of my last video pickup for the summer. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first thing I got, a good buddy of mine was going through his parents' basement, found some more stuff, and kind of sent me a message saying, "Hey man, would you interested? Or you want this? Or otherwise I'm just gonna give it away or try to sell it or something." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So he had two of the biker mice from Mars figures. I never had these as a kid. These are awesome. I think this cartoon was in around the mid-90s. So we had Vinny. And I think, if I recall correctly, this guy was voiced by Ian Ziering from 90210, who also voiced one of the main characters in the Mighty Ducks cartoon, if you remember that. And then there was also Modo. So this is the guy that has the prosthetic robot arm, and I think he shot lasers or something out of it. So not really any accessories except their helmets, which is alright. I mean, whatever. I'm not a big collector of these, but you know, I'll keep them and I'll put them with my my miscellaneous retro rut shelf that'll kind of have, you know, 80s and 90s you know, figures and that. So that was awesome. Thanks a lot, bud. You know who you are. Next, I went to a store on the weekend, just kind of rummaging around, seeing what they had. And they had the new Masters of the Universe, like the reissue toys. Went digging through them, and at the back of one of the racks, I found a pretty, I guess, rare or uncommon one now. I haven't seen them, and I don't know if it's just a Winnipeg or Canada thing, but I don't find we're getting a lot of the characters up here. We're getting a lot of the same characters. Like I'm seeing, I think it's Clamp Champ and Ram Man, and Zodiac. Like I haven't seen a He-Man, a Skeletor. I think I saw one She-Ra, and I should have picked it up, but I didn't. I don't think, and I think a couple Evil Lyns I've seen, but nothing else really. So when I saw this guy, I had to grab him because he's such a cool character. Scareglow. Now he looks pretty similar to the original one. I've never seen one up close myself because that one's actually a pretty rare figure, and it runs for a couple $100 to get one. So this is very, very close reproduction of it. It looks awesome, and even this one's getting hard to find. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to take them out of the package or not. I think I'm going to, because I have some other Masters of the Universe stuff that I kind of like displayed with them. So he's awesome. I'm looking forward to trying out his glowing. So if you put him up next, to a light, his whole body's supposed to glow. Really awesome character. Glad to have picked him up. Then next, we'll move on to some turtle stuff. So this one I just randomly found on a shelf on a store. It's a Hot Wheels turtle van. It's a really cool thing. I think I got it for like $5, just sitting here. Nothing super special. Apparently it's a harder one to find. I'm not a Hot Wheels guy, so I don't know a lot about what's hard to find, what's not, what's rare. Just kind of what I've read and I've seen online. I'm probably going to take this one out of the package. I think it's going to look really cool if I maybe put it in maybe my sewer play set, or I was even thinking maybe with my NECA figures, because it'd almost be to scale that it would be, you know, kind of like their version of having the toy turtle van, which is kind of cool. I've seen some people have, like, you know, them holding Game Boys or playing Super Nintendo or stuff like that. So that might be a cool thing to do. I'll see when I get that set up eventually. The next I picked up, I had to piece this one together, so I had to get two different figures, but it was one I really wanted because I had him as a kid, and he's such a cool figure to look at. It's a Mutagen Man, and now because I had two of the figures, I was actually able to use two of the piping here, whatever you want to call it, or the hoses. Normally he's only supposed to have one, which I don't really understand because there's two spots on here. Now this was such a crazy character. If you can see inside, like, His insides are like his brain, his eyes, kind of like the brain stem, and then just a bunch of organs sitting in there. So really kind of gruesome character, especially for more of a Turtles. Turtles is more kid friendly, so it was kind of surprising to see this. And I was drawn to him as a kid when I first saw this in the packaging and picked him up. This inside, it kind of reminds me if you ever saw RoboCop 2, and there's that scene where they take that drug dealer and they cut his brain open and everything, and they're about to put him into another RoboCop, but he's just his eyes and his skull and his spine are just floating in this tube thing. Really kind of creepy. As a kid, that freaked me out. Don't know why I was allowed to watch that as a kid, but whatever. Didn't scar me too bad, hopefully. Next for Turtles figures, this was an awesome piece. Kind of a rare, yeah, I guess a rare figure. It's not worth a, well, it is worth a bit, but it's kind of hard to explain. It's the green jumpsuit April O'Neil. Now, it looks like the regular release of the April, just with the repaint. But the reason this one is more rare or uncommon is because this only came with the Channel 6 News Van set. Now, that set came out really close to the end of the Turtles toy line. And it was really kind of like a repainting of the Turtle Van. It had a couple different sculpts on it, and it had like a little news camera thing that rolled out, but it's really hard to find. If you have a complete one, you're probably looking, you're probably worth about $200 to $300 for that. This April alone that goes with it, and it's pretty uncommon. I see once in a while online, it usually goes for about $100. So it's awesome to get her. She's in great shape. I did not pay anywhere near that. I got it off a guy locally. So that was awesome. As soon as I saw that, I had to grab it because it's such an awesome character to have. And for some reason, I have all these April variants. I didn't want to like go into collecting April figures. It wasn't like some weird thing I wanted to do. I just ended up getting, 3 of the original ones that have the different variants. Now this one, I got a boxed one from I think 91. So it just kind of happens. I don't find a lot of people are big on collecting the April figures, which I don't really understand because she was a huge part of that show. She was one of the main characters, like next to the turtle. She was in almost every episode, so I'm not sure why her figures aren't worth as much, except obviously for this one. And then last thing I kind of picked up or have to share, a little bit of a backstory to it. I had shared a few months back, I had picked up a box of random toys for $30. There was some really good Turtles figures. There was like a Monty the Moose and a Murdude in there, which are pretty rare turtle figures to get, and they're probably worth $20-$30 each at least for those ones without accessories. With accessories, they're quite a bit more, and those ones again kind of came out later in the toy line, so they're harder to get. So there was that. There was a couple other Turtles figures I took out of there. The rest I just didn't really care about. It was duplicate Turtle stuff I already had. There was a couple Batman figures. There was, I think, 1 or 2 Masters of the Universe things. So I took it to a guy that runs kind of like a vintage toy shop, kind of out of his garage. He has a lot of cool stuff. He gets pretty regularly. So I try to go there every once in a while. And I just kind of brought it to him. I was like, hey, man, like, want to take a look at this, anything you want? And I just kind of looked around his place there. And he's like, yeah, I'll give you $60 for it or something. And I'm like, I thought I said 16. I'm like, 1.6? He's like, no, like 60. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So I saw this one thing when I walked in, and I was like, I don't want to spend a ton of money here. I kind of wanted to get more like accessories, and usually pick up some turtle stuff, and usually has some Ghostbuster stuff, accessories and little ghosts and that. I usually try to pick up for my display. So as soon as he said that, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. He had an almost complete G1 Metroplex. This is such an awesome figure. It's one I've wanted to add in my collection for a while. He had it up there for actually a really good price. He had it for $100. It was missing a couple parts, which wasn't too bad. So with my trade, I got it for $40, which is like unheard of. And he was missing these 2 guns and this little gun in the back. So I was able to get that off someone on eBay in Canada for, I think it was like 25 bucks with shipping and everything. So that was awesome. So a pretty much complete Metroplex in relatively good shape for out of pocket, like 65, 70 bucks. That's unheard of. Like, I looked at that, I saw this figure on a shelf on the weekend, and it was up there for like 250. Another one was up there for 300. He did have most of his other accessories, like little tank, this tower, which turns into another little transformer. The only thing I was kind of missing or in rough shape was this car that comes with it. I think his name's Trax, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. So he's missing some parts in his guns and that. I wasn't as worried about this. I really wanted more just to have Metroplex in good shape, so he'd look good as a display. I do have the, I think it was the 2012 or the 2013, like the big Metroplex, which is huge. I put it on my Instagram a couple days or a week or so ago with him kind of standing side by side for comparison. So it'll look really good when I'm able to get my new Transformers display all set up. So yeah, so that was pretty much my pickups for the last few weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. If you did, you liked what you saw today, if you want to give me a thumbs up or a subscription, it'd be awesome. Or, you know what, let me know below if you guys got any cool pickups this summer. I'd love to hear what you got. I'd love to hear what people pick up for, you know, little treasures out there. Let me know what you're into. But in the meantime, you guys be safe, have a lot of fun, and Autobots roll out.